Johnny boy.
What's going on there, buddy boy?
You know, I did a lot of work to make sure our heads weren't up in the clouds here on the framing.
Perfect.
And guess what, John? Our heads are up in the clouds here on the framing.
That's excellent.
Right, I need to...
What do we need to do?
I need to get somewhere to get out of...
You need to do something about something.
It is a rainy week in LA.
It is.
It
most certainly is.
Still working on that tech.
There was some flooding when we were actually headed up here when we got picked up from the station.
Oh,
we saw some flood, not like major, but I mean it was
some standing water.
It was high enough that I mean if your car you stop moving, it'd be above you probably flood your vehicle.
Oh, that's never good.
So luckily we didn't.
Siobhan says hello.
Hello, Siobhan.
We got our first check-in. We had a good. Kyle wasn't here for it, but we had a fun week last week. Everybody was rip-roaring in the chats.
It was great. I loved it last week. Great job last week, everyone, especially you ladies.
We were a breath away from having the chat actually showing up on screen. I'm hoping we're a week or two away from getting that to happen. Man, it drives me nuts with the green beard, John.
What are you talking about?
No. So. Let's just get right into this. Andrea's
showrunner is taking away the monitor next week.
Andrea's getting frustrated.
No more looking at yourselves, you insanely vain men.
No, it's a distraction. What do you mean insanely vain?
Exactly.
It's just there's movement, so I look.
Yeah, like
and I look to see how bad I look. That's not vanity.
John, I did all sorts of light stuff to make sure there wasn't this stuff going on over my shoulders here that's happening, but it's happening.
Like the trees, you mean?
No, like the stuff that looks like snow. It's not a snowy background we got there. So, let's put Faremart on blast. Let's get right into it.
Seriously.
So, a while back, Andrea and I went to Buffalo, John, and we bought tickets. What I thought was through JetBlue, but they weren't through JetBlue. It turns out they were through Faremart.
Uh-oh.
And Faremart, we didn't find out until we tried to check in for our flights home, pulled some shady stuff that resulted in Andrea having no ticket home, John. And this stuff all came home to roost in the past week here.
Okay.
Which is why I'm talking about it now.
So, well, let's hear it.
So, Faremart, we paid for 2 one-way tickets, right? Paid for it with the credit card, bought 2 one-way tickets. Okay. But for whatever reason, they charged 1 one-way ticket for me through JetBlue, actually through JetBlue, and then they charged Andrea's one-way ticket through this fake charge of JetBlue where they said it was through JetBlue, but they actually charged it to themselves.
Oh.
Meanwhile, they bought my ticket through JetBlue with my credit card, and they bought Andrea's ticket through JetBlue themselves, but apparently on somebody else's credit card.
What?
Complete random person's credit card. Yeah. So this person, when they found out they had a charge on their credit
clearly
card...
disputed the charge.
Disputed the charge, got their money refunded, because they didn't buy a ticket for Andrea. Right. So open and check case, got that money refunded.
Yeah.
They didn't tell us that they canceled out Andrea's ticket as fraud because of this canceled account. So we didn't find out Andrea no longer had a ticket, even though we had still paid Faremart for said ticket.
Right.
Until she tried to fly back home and had no ticket.
So the idea was you would, go to the airline and say you were like will call or something?
Well, no, we had to go to the airline, tell them we got screwed by a shady booking company, and luckily JetBlue were real chums about the whole thing, and they honored the price that we had paid originally, but we had to pay again for Andrea's flight home.
So you lost that. So you lost that
fraud.
So you lost that Faremart fare.
Oh, so we call up Faremart, and we're like, yo, what happened here? And they're like, oh, well, somehow we accidentally charged your card or her ticket on somebody else's card, and we're not sure where that money went. So just go ahead and dispute it with your credit card company, and we won't dispute your dispute, and you'll get your money back that way. Yeah. So we go ahead and dispute it through the credit card company, and what do these bums do? They go ahead and dispute the transaction. Yeah. Even better, they tried showing freaking a ticket from 2016. What happened with your week, John? Hopefully you didn't buy any plane tickets through Faremart.
Didn't buy any plane tickets. Actually, I haven't bought a plane ticket since I lost vision in my eye. That being said, the week was moderately slow. I didn't work a whole lot, but I enjoyed my first real week of having just a few days a week, which is nice. And so what I plan on doing is now this week, I'm going to start going to the comedy clubs, like I told you before I was going to do.
You're going to do this?
I haven't spoken to Tony about it, but I'm still going to go myself. You don't have to Uber to it or anything like that. I don't mind.
Got any
nothing? No.
Day of the week or locations picked out?
No, nothing yet. No, nothing yet. But I only have Like I have today, tomorrow, and Wednesday off, so I'm probably going to go tomorrow night and or Wednesday night and just check. I might not go up, but I might at least check it out first, see what the vibe is like, and then see where it goes from there. But I mean, that's pretty much what I want to do. I've been talking about comedy for too long. Did I ever tell you about when I was driving? Because Uber is my social, that's my social network is the Uber. Did I ever tell you when I had a driver and he told me he heard voices in his head? Did I ever tell you that?
Oh, that's what you want to hear from the driver.
Yeah, so he tells me, it's like, oh, I hear voices in my head. So I reach to the door handle. I'm like, should you just pull over on the corner now? Or are we going to crash and are you going to drive us into a brick wall? Like, what are you going to do with these voices? And he kind of laughed, and that was it. So the rest of the ride was very normal. It was a very even conversation, very serious, nothing too much. And almost at the end, he asked me a question out of the blue. He's like, are you a comedian? And I'm like, what the like, where do you come up with that question? Thank you. I mean, it's nice, but how could you possibly come up with that other than that one statement? He's like, do you remember the voices that I told you about earlier? So what did I do? I reached for the door handle again because I was like, are we gonna? And he laughed. He said they were voices of prophecy in his head. And I said, prophecy? And he said they told him, I'm just saying, they told him right before he asked me that I was a comedian. And that's why he asked. So I'm just saying signs are pointing to me doing this all over. So I just need to do it.
Do you know what he was doing there, John?
Stroking my ego?
Oh, he was stroking the shit out of your ego.
Well, he didn't get a tip.
He didn't know that he wasn't going to get a tip when he was stroking
I
your
never
ego.
give a tip in Uber. My tip is my conversation.
He doesn't know that, so he's stroking your ego under the pretense that you're a decent human being that's going to give him a tip.
But why would he come out with that question out of nowhere, though? I mean, that's out of nowhere.
People think Andrea should be a comedian all the time, too. And
really? Why?
I don't know. She's been told it on numerous occasions, and...
Well, she should try.
Yeah,
you definitely talk. You definitely can talk enough for it.
She's the sheriff, John.
You don't believe in tipping.
John's not a big tipper.
No, I'm a huge tipper.
It's the smallest violin playing just for the Uber.
But in Uber, I just don't tip in Uber. I mean, I don't know. If I do, I'll give cash. But normally I don't tip a lot. Otherwise, I'm giving money away every single day, twice a day.
Then don't take it if you can't afford to tip. What do you think the rates are so low for?
Oh, now you're gonna come down on me for this?
Yes, because I was one of these Uber drivers that drove people like you around that are in the service industry,
and people like you.
And I give you
ungrateful passengers.
I give you long rides from Sylmar to Hollywood. That's a good pay. You don't need any more than that. You should get 70% of that as is.
You should be doing the split fare on top of it, John. So you can nickel and dime them down even more on a route no one else is going.
You told me to do the split fare from here before. What are you talking about? Making me look bad. And now it's of course. When I'm doing it, I'm screwing them over. When you're doing it, it's smart business. Get out of here. But anyway, I mean that's what I look forward to doing. So I am going to come back with some stuff in the future, maybe even next week, and tell you a little bit at least about what the comedy clubs were like. So it's something to look forward to.
I want to go to one of these.
You should come with
John, because I feel like if I'm there enough, I'll eventually get up the courage to go up there.
Because when I went on stage, I realized that I was actually comfortable when I knew what I was talking about. So I know I can be comfortable on stage. It's just getting to remembering what I'm going to talk about. Even if it's not funny, I was still comfortable talking about it. I was like, okay, I'm actually okay on stage, and that's the most important thing. Because if you're not comfortable, it's tough to go on stage and do that.
That's my problem. Is I'm completely comfortable on stage.
Okay,
but only if I'm winging it as I go. Like up there, I get tell stories.
Oh, really? Winging it?
Yeah. Oh like when we did the mini tour for the Perfect House, and we had 5 or 6 screenings in a week's time. Every other night we were up on stage.
Yeah.
I love the end part, man. When he was up there, got the mic in the hand, telling funny stories. Everyone, there's the audience engagement and all of that.
Okay.
That's the part, like I know I can handle that part, no problem.
But you weren't really making anything up. You were telling things you already knew.
Yeah, I was telling stories and all that, but I was,
Well, that's what you do on stage. Yeah. That's what you do as comedy.
Yeah, I just can't handle the format. I can't handle, you have to have some structure, you have to know what you're going to say, and you have to stick to it.
Well, you don't if you're good enough and you can do it without. There's very few comedians that can do that, though.
I can, like, a la Kevin Smith, I can go up there and tell entertaining stories off the hip all day long. But if my job is to go up there and purposely make you laugh, not just entertain you, but make you laugh, you're not going to be able to do that without setups, hammer, freaking, and have all the beats right.
I suppose, but you get good enough stories, people are still going to laugh at your stories.
Yeah, but it's not stand-up comedy then. Then it's just like a one-man show telling stories.
But I mean, why couldn't you do that? I mean, there's success there to be had.
I'm not saying there's not, but I'm saying if I was going to pursue stand-up comedy, you need to be prepared to make people laugh, not just entertain them with interesting stories.
But if they laugh at your interesting stories, then you are entertaining them.
But not every story is going to make them laugh. Some are just going to be interesting stories.
Exactly, and not every joke is going to make someone laugh. That's why you have to build you have to build it. You can't just
they're
instantly
supposed to.
step on stage. Yeah, but you can't just step on stage and be the next Richard Pryor. You just can't just step up there and do it.
I got the sense of humor to do it.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you need the writing and you need everything down. So that's
I got the
whole
writing
point.
to do it. I just don't have the delivery.
You got to go on stage to get the delivery. All right.
All right, John. So we don't have a main topic for the show this week.
We don't.
Other than the fact that it's supposed to rain all week here in
All
LA.
week. Crazy.
But we are going to get into a bunch of different Gratwick stuff. We've got Kyle in the studio, as we said.
Welcome, buddy.
I learned some ad spend analysis reports, how to make and create them this week.
Don't take that on stage.
We got a big board meeting tomorrow morning.
Okay.
We've got more things going on with the Buffalo Star search. We're still looking for stars.
Still ongoing. Yes.
We've got a photo shoot for one of our artists coming up.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Everybody loves a good photo shoot.
The alpha test for Elabs kicked off this week.
Very nice.
Been rocking the shit out of some super asteroids.
Asteroids, nice.
Gratwick Gaming has another big broadcast coming up this week. And we've got our Discord questions and the bullet blitzes that we do every week here, John.
Of course.
So let's bring this into a commercial break. And I'm going to just shake my head right through
Let's hope this goes well.
Who's the commercial for? Just in case? Let everyone know.
That's what the commercial does, is it pimps out who the commercial's for.
Good morning, Buffalo. The sun is shining, and it's game day.
My Sundays are a little different now. People say life slows down when you retire. Once again, I'm proving everybody wrong. I'm starting on a new path, joining the Cold Sox team. Cold Sox and I are giving back to the city we love, one sock at a time. You, me, us, and we. That's what makes a community. Put on for your city, Buffalo, and rep your code.
Touchdown! It's incredible! Red Jackson!
Okay, John. I think we had a successful commercial there.
I like that commercial. I'm a fan of Fred Jackson. I didn't really watch him much when he was playing, but I don't know. He kind of looks like a...
Yeah, he's a cool, slick dude.
Is he?
Yeah.
You get a chance to talk to him?
We already went over that, John. No, I
like to ask,
intentionally
though.
avoided the talent
I know.
because I didn't want to be the guy pushing in to talk to the talent. So, speaking of the talent,
Let's go.
Jesus, John, I got this little
Stop worrying about it. Stop worrying about it.
white thing in my...
People don't watch you for your beard, believe me.
Well, I'm grown it long enough. They should start watching for the beard. So, we've got Kyle in the studio this week.
Which
Kyle,
again-
thanks for joining us.
Of course, buddy. Thank you.
Welcome to Selmar, top of the valley. He's, as you can see, helping us get our tech stuff all sorted out. John,
You need a comb, man. A beard comb, dude.
there's
Gotta comb that shit out.
driving
You're the
me
one who
nuts.
loves this live stuff. You love this live
So Kyle's helping us out with the setup, trying to see where our gaps and efficiency are here and how we can do this a little better each week.
Yeah, for sure.
He's
All part of learning the process.
he's definitely gotten a first-hand experience at the clusterfuck that we run
Yeah.
here every
Enjoy.
every
Enjoy, buddy.
Monday. So moving on from Kyle in studio, there
course.
was another meeting that happened this week, John, that
Yeah.
was a bit fortuitous.
It helped Gratwick specifically, correct?
It did help Gratwick specifically, and
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's going to help Gratwick going forward. So we're looking to fill the role of CFO. We need a finance guy.
Okay,
We need a numbers
okay.
guy. We need all of those things.
Sure.
So I don't know if you know about Shaper, but Shaper's one of these cool apps that I use all the time that I usually tell everybody and toot the Shaper horn from.
okay. No, I don't know.
It's basically Tinder for professionals. So you
that's
put
actually kind of
like-
a smart...
you see, put in there like I'm a filmmaker, or I'm an entrepreneur, I'm running a startup studio.
Okay.
We're looking for a CFO. Boom, boom,
Okay.
boom. And then each day, Shaper will send you, I think it's 16 matches, and you can either swipe right, yeah, I want to meet them. Swipe left, no, I don't want to meet them. And if you both swipe to the right, then you can message each other and network and say, hey, this is what I'm working on. What are
So
you
it's
working
just like Tinder in that regard.
on? Oh, it's 100% like Tinder. You're just not allowed to show your dick.
Well, that's probably a good thing.
Well, probably on both,
Let's
but
be honest.
so yeah, we've met a lot of cool, great people on there so far, and we met with a guy named Josh the other day. So he's way down in Orange County. We're way up here in Selmar.
Okay.
So we picked a middle ground.
So where'd you meet him?
El Monte, John.
I'd been in El Monte when I worked for that company.
East LA.
When I worked for that company with the producer, there was when I took a delivery. I went down there once to El Monte. Well, but where did you go specifically? Did you go to a restaurant? Did you go to like a mall?
Lucille's barbecue pit. Yeah, we hit
barbecue.
Oh, yeah, of course. I'm like, so you like barbecue? He's like, who doesn't? I'm like, great answer.
Already getting along. Yeah.
Of course. Then I show up in my Bills hoodie I wore last week.
Okay.
Because it's a nice little rainy day.
Sure.
You gotta break out the hoodies when you can.
Oh yeah.
And as soon as I come walking up, he's like, sorry about that shirt. And he says it with the Boston accent. I'm like, oh boy.
No.
And it's like, yeah, I'm a Patriots fan.
Oh boy.
Like, super. Let's get this over with.
Oh,
But as I told him after the fact, I have yet to actually share a beer with a bad Patriots fan.
Okay.
So
Wow.
perfect example. When we went to the Monday night game back in Buffalo. And we went to the Bills Patriots game. Half our tailgate was Patriots fans because my uncle works for FedEx, and apparently over the years he made a bunch of buddies with FedEx guys in Boston.
Oh.
So every year his group of FedEx guys goes to the Bills game
and vice versa
in Boston. And vice versa. They were all here.
That's actually kind of cool.
Yeah. They're all good guys, crazy Boston dudes,
friendly fans, and it's such a huge rivalry too. So
yeah, and then the only other Patriot fans we ever partied with were in I believe it was New Hampshire when we were doing the road trip around the country. We ended up spending the night at it was pouring rain. The rain theme keeps it coming. So it was pouring rain. We did a backyard screening under a tarp and showed the Perfect House movie with a whole gaggle of Patriots fans on their turf.
That sounds horrible.
Oh yeah, and then
sounds under a tarp. Under a tarp. Oh my god.
There was wicked smots going around all night long. It was great, but. The irony was that was the last time the Bills really smoked the Patriots and beat them was the next day because the night we stayed there on a Saturday night. The next morning the Bills were playing the Patriots and we were out and on the road by then.
Oh,
but the one time I hung out and spent the night at a bunch of Patriots fans' houses was the one time the Bills won the next day.
The Bills actually won.
Yeah, well, I'm like I wish we stayed an extra few hours to turn the screws.
So Josh, though, he's a Patriots fan, unfortunately, but good for him. His team's in a good spot. So what is Josh? Like, did you...
He's a CPA. So right now he does public taxes and a lot of everyday type taxes and stuff like that. Gaining experience, climbing up.
So he's clearly certainly a number guy. Is he an accountant?
I think that's what he's working towards and all that. So he does... He's a certified public accountant in the sense that he does people's taxes and stuff.
Okay.
But he's climbing up the ranks to eventually want to be a CFO for a startup.
Which we're all kind of climbing up the ranks, so hopefully it's a good connection.
So, but he had a lot of great knowledge in like the numbers and stuff that we had to put together for the analytics side of trying to raise this campaign. So as we've talked about week in and week out here, we're going to be launching a WeFunder campaign here in the next month or so. And the goal is going to be to raise $1 million. The minimum goal of that campaign is $250,000. So we've been working backwards from that $250,000. What kind of numbers we have to do, how many investors we're going to need. So basing it off of $150 average investment, we need 666 investors to help us reach.
Come on, that's the number you need of investors?
Yeah. To hit the minimum goal of the 250,000.
I know, but still.
So then it becomes conversion rates, and we're looking at like an average conversion rate of 7.5%, which means you need about 11 to 12 clicks per click of the site that's going to actually convert. So for every 12 people we can drive to the page, to the WeFunder page, ideally one of them would convert into an investor and invest into it. So now you got to figure out how many clicks you need to get the 666 conversions. So then you take the 666 and times it by 12, and that's how many clicks you need. So with all of that, if it takes 12 clicks per person that invests in the campaign, working back from that, you can figure out the cost per customer acquisition. So if you need 12 clicks and each click costs $1, then it's going to cost you basically $12 for every $150 investor you get.
Right.
And then, so this is how everybody kind of sorts and works out their numbers for online analytics and how much to spend in online ads and all of this type of advertising.
Okay,
stuff.
that makes sense.
Loves her some math.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I spent all weekend on this. Like, after talking to him, we have 3 hours of barbecue and beers, talking about all this stuff and that. And he's like, "Listen, you need to drill your numbers down more before your board meeting. You got to find out your customer acquisition costs. You got to find out all these different formulas to get this hammered out, so you know exactly what it's going to take to hit your number."
Right.
And that's been my whole weekend was figuring out ad spend numbers.
I'd be pulling my hair out. I'm not even that bad at math, but that just sounds like a headache. But I mean, you got to do what you got to do. It's got to be done.
It's interesting, and in one sense, it makes me feel good to know that something as big as what we're doing here, you can boil down to a math number.
Okay.
You hit the numbers, and even if you use bad numbers, there's a certain number. If you hit, you're still gonna accomplish your goal.
Okay.
So from that point, it removes the luck factor of, well, I really hope people like what we're doing, and I really hope people tell people about what we're doing and all of this, and puts it on you now. I have to drive these numbers. I have to get these amount of clicks.
Yeah.
If I think it was something like 4,500 clicks, somewhere around that number. That we got to get of the website to get that 666 in there, and now we've got a goal to work backwards from. That's where we're at, John.
Okay, well, I mean, it sounds like you know what you're doing. It's not like you're confused about it. I mean, I'm a little, having just talking about it, I'm kind of like, maybe if I saw numbers and the crunch down, but I mean, just talking about it, I'm a little.
12 clicks for every winner, John. That's what the whole thing comes down to.
Okay, bunch of clicks. Let's get a bunch more clicks.
So tomorrow we're gonna have our first board member meeting of the year. We're gonna go over how many clicks it takes to get to the center of the lollipop.
There you go.
And get everything ready to go and hit the ground running, because we've got an event coming up, John. We're planning it. We haven't fully gone into the hard details on it yet. But the announcement is coming by the end of this month.
Of course, but I am kind of curious now. I shouldn't be doing this, I suppose, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Go rogue.
You already know it. So you got the big board meeting, you got the company, you got all this, everything's moving forward. Does the whole government shutdown, does any of that affect anyone in moving forward as far as this is concerned? It seems like it's affecting a lot. It seems like it's really affecting not a lot of people I know, but it's got to be affecting a lot of people, period, right?
That's a great question, John.
It has to.
It may or may not. It's still open in the air, because the last step of this whole process was we had to submit our whole financials and information, all of this stuff, to WeFunder. Then WeFunder takes all of this information and they fill out what's called a Form C that they send to the SEC to either file it or approve it or whatever the process is here. I've gotten a couple different stories on this.
Okay.
Story one is the SEC has to review that process and approve this whole thing, in which case the departments that do that may or may not be shut down. Because I do know for initial public offerings, which ours is an exemption public offering, but the big ones that show up on the NASDAQ, the stock exchange, all of that, they take months and months of review processes and going through all of this stuff.
Yeah.
All of that is completely suspended and on hold. So the other scenario is that you just have to file it with the SEC so they have it on record that you've done all your stuff properly, that you followed the rules, and you are good to go.
Okay.
In that scenario...
Because the SEC is run by the government, paid by the government, right?
In that scenario, this would fall under apparently their Edgar chapter of the SEC, which is still operating and still functioning for basic, simple reviews and stuff like this.
Okay.
But until we hear from WeFunder, hopefully at some point this week, we will not have a definitive answer on that. So we're riding limbo a little bit.
Yeah, and that's pretty wild. So that's
Of course, it'd be the longest government shutout ever
in history. Of course,
his personal impact on me.
Yeah. Last one that didn't affect me at all. I didn't even didn't.
Yeah, it was over before anybody knew what was happening, John.
Oh my goodness.
So with all of this, we're turning our attention to focusing on planning a launch event. We're looking into what charities we want to benefit. I believe we've got a couple good ones picked out that we're going to wait till we have.
Okay, I was just going to ask.
Production value up a little bit here, so we're presenting them in good flavor.
Yes.
But yeah, so we're planning a launch event. We're getting things going with that. We're looking into the entertainment for the launch event because it's going to take place in Buffalo, John.
Mm-hmm.
And as hopefully some of you know, we've been running a Buffalo Star Search program.
Yes.
So the Buffalo Star Search program. So the Buffalo Star Search graphic is up on there. All you have to do is nominate your favorite artists and tag us and Pulp716, and you're entered in a raffle to win a gift basket that will be raffling off those gift baskets on the night of the event, John. But we need some more nominations, preferably people that could potentially perform at the event party. Some cool bands, some musical talent. I don't know. Maybe you're real good with the hula hoop and you do some sort of crazy different things. We can.
I think that's great. I think that's a great idea. Because it's going to help everybody involved. It's going to help Gratwick. It's going to help the charities. It's going to help the performers because you're going to get the coverage.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're going to yeah, definitely look for people who can perform because any event I go to. I need some visual entertainment or some audio entertainment. Something.
Absolutely.
Whether it's a band like I said, or a dancer, or a hula hooper, and I've seen some crazy hoopers, by the way, even just in California.
For sure.
So I imagine in Buffalo's got to be some amazing hoopers as well.
And providing a little entertainment is something I'm really committed to for the event because I've gone to so many events where there's not really anything going on except everybody's standing around. You're supposed to talk to each other and drink.
Yeah.
Give me some activities.
Yeah.
It's so much easier to network over when we've got activities, John.
I more than understand. Believe you me.
So yeah, if you know any great bands or musical acts in the Western New York area, hit us up on the Twitter, hit us up on the Instagram, tell us who they are and why we should have them at the event.
Do we actually have anyone lined up at this point?
Well, we do. We do. We have our first Gratwick recording artist who will have her debut performance at this launch event.
Oh,
yes.
Can we say anything about who it is? Or?
Sure, absolutely. Her name's Paris Caliburn. She's been making music since she was 7 years old.
Wow.
She's a fantastic, multifaceted artist that started as a singer-songwriter. Well, it started as a songwriter and then evolved into a singer and performs all of her own music. She's going to be performing a couple songs at the event from her first album that we're helping her release over the summer.
Amazing. That's incredible.
And, so we've got a photo shoot that we're doing for her this weekend back in Buffalo. The photo shoot's going to be happening to get her social media all revamped, get us some cool pictures of her that we can start promoting and sharing. Yeah. And introduce the world to our dear friend Paris that's going to be an awesome artist. And hopefully, I think we're zeroing in on the problem here, John.
Okay.
But hopefully we're going to have the Gridfam situation sorted out here real soon. So we can get Paris up in here and join us, talk to us about her music, and learn more about her.
Yeah, I would definitely like to ask some questions myself, but I guess that's for the future.
For sure, John. This isn't really a Gratwick thing, but it's a friend of Gratwick's, and it transitions nicely into the additional Gratwick thing that's going to come after it. So we're going to follow up on Elabs. Elabs has their alpha test going on right now for their launch app, which now that they've finally launched their app and I've installed it, played it a little bit, I've got such a better grasp of what they've been building and what they're working on and what the potential for it is. It really is going to be something special on the esports front. So right now, they've got a alpha test game in there, which is Super Asteroids. So you log into the app, and you're playing in the esports app, and you'll be able to choose different games. Like, for example, right now, it's Super Asteroids, but that's the test game. They've got some of their own games they're going to be adding into there, and then they've got licensing deals with other mobile gaming companies and stuff that you'll be able to play their games through the app.
Sure.
And then what Elabs does is they provide the overlay that does the matchmaking so you can play... so you can do heads-up matches against anyone else playing the other mobile device.
Oh, okay.
You could play in different tournaments for different prizes and things. And it's going to all basically work off of a coin system. So you'll get so many coins for checking in each day.
Okay.
You'll get so many coins for winning. And then you could choose which type of a different event, game, or activity you want to spend those coins on.
Okay.
And basically, it's not a currency, but like Dave and Buster's tokens for which games and you want to play.
Well, it's kind of like a currency. I mean, it kind of is.
Yeah, but you can't exchange it out for anything or anything like that other than
exactly.
in the ecosystem.
It's like winning tickets to something. You just turn the tickets in and you get what
it's kind of like Red Dead Cash.
There you go.
Yeah.
I love how you went back to that, but yeah.
But yeah, that's basically what it is. So in their ecosystem, you can use the coins to buy into a different game, to buy into a bigger match, all of that type of stuff.
Well, let me ask you this, if you know, because like I haven't done enough research, and I apologize for that. That being said, Are the apps, now I know we're in the test alpha, but do you know if the apps moving forward are going to be free and then you just use your coins to buy in. So you can just download all those games for free, but you can play them on their.
Yeah, you don't have to download each game separately and all of that.
So you don't have to pay for those games?
It's all in their app.
Okay.
So there'll be freemium, there'll be premium, there'll be different paid games,
pay to win,
different
sort of things.
buy-ins.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's going to be everything
All through their app.
Yes.
Perfect.
A great example that is kind of the same setup, but on a singular game is there's this golf game that I play, a mobile golf game from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
So you get so many coins on the golf match, and if you want to play heads up 3-hole match against somebody, it'll cost you 300 coins, but if you win 500 coins.
Okay.
And if you want to play a 9-hole match against somebody, it'll cost you 1,000 coins, but if you win 1,800 coins.
Sure.
So you use your coins to buy into more matches and tournaments.
Okay.
And that's basically what they're going to have, except some of these tournaments you'll be able to buy in will actually have real-world prizes. Maybe it'll be a game chair that's like a nice
or a controller or something.
Controller,
nice.
any of that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's all different types of things, and the other people can suggest it. So maybe you saw a Rockstar PC gaming system that you really want, and you want a chance to win it or whatever. You can suggest that as one of the prizes for a tournament, and then Elabs will have a game tournament or something that revolves around that as the prize.
Oh, I like that. I like that interaction.
But it won't be won and raffled off until there's been enough entries to pay for the price of what the product is.
That makes sense.
So you may spend $1 worth of coins playing and getting a high score, and the item costs $1,000. So until 1,000 different people have entered the tournament, then the tournament would end, and whoever of the 1,000 people have the highest score, they win the gaming system.
Wow. But I like that. I like that they're taking the input of their clients. I won't even know what you would call people, the gamers. It's like companies who they take the. It's like we find the bugs and we find the issues and we tell you. I forget what it's called, but you're reporting them. So I like that that's what they're doing. And then they're also, it's like you want certain changes. So like Red Dead, people want the economy changed. They want this changed. Well, they listened and they changed it. So that's exactly what Elabs is doing.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Well, their alpha's out now. If you want to join their alpha, you can still do it. You need an email invitation to join, and you can get your email invitation at esportsshowdown.io, and we'll have that up on screen here in a moment when we do a little commercial for them. But before we get to that commercial, John, we have our next big Gratwick gaming event coming up. Yes, unfortunately, you're not going to be there because I would throw the Dukes down with you in a heartbeat. We are proud to be presenting Max's Fight Club. Max has started a Red Dead Online underground fight club where the biggest rule is no shirts allowed.
Yep.
So every week now, it's going to be at Friday at 3 p.m. Central Time. I got these people in there, different time zones.
Oh, geez.
So we're just going to rock our time zone. Fridays at 1 p.m. Pacific Time is when the Max's Fight Club is going to go down. And he's been getting 15, 20 guys all together for an underground fight club. And it's one-on-one matches. No guns, no tackling, none of the other crap. Just brass knuckles, John.
Brass knuckles?
Well, you're brass knuckles. Oh. You can't bring brass knuckles.
Oh, I was going to say.
But yeah, so it's just street fights, John. Until there's one man left standing, we're having knockout brackets. Gratwick Gaming is going to broadcast it.
And then what is I haven't done any research on this either. Does the winner of the week have the title until the next Friday and they're the champ?
Well, apparently there are 2 undefeated members of this fight club community.
Well, how can you have 2 undefeated?
Why they haven't
faced each other?
Why they haven't faced each other yet? I don't know, John.
Sounds
but that gives us some hype for our first actual show.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to get these two guys to fight each other.
Let's manipulate them.
Yeah. So Gratwick Gaming, you can find it on YouTube. Facebook, and Twitch. Hopefully,
back up there again.
Hopefully, if Restream keeps its crap together, we'll be up on all 3 of those.
Yeah.
But that's kind of the nut of the whole thing is Restream needs to hold together for us.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the overlay.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. I whipped that together the other day for good old Max.
Are you ready for an RDR2 question?
In 1 second, I have one last thing to say about Max's Fight Club. Max's Fight Club, John.
Shh, don't talk about a fight club.
No, this Fight Club, the number 1 rule is talk about this Fight Club.
Yeah, you want to get it out.
We people need to know about this Fight Club.
Mm-hmm.
So He also has bouncers. If you're not down with the Fight Club, but you want to come and watch anyway, we need people to surround the area and shoot the griefers.
Wow.
So, in addition to the brass knuckle or the bear,
you must be a level 30.
yes,
as it
must
says on there.
be a level 30.
Oh, see, I didn't even
Must
see
be
that.
level
Where's
30. Don't get
Yeah,
people's
John.
hopes
Where's
up
the
if they're
oh,
at
lower
28.
right?
Bounces need. Bounces need, John.
Okay.
Must be level 30.
Okay.
So, in addition to the bare knuckle fights, he's also going to have occasional duels. Where the old showdown at noon in the middle of the town.
Oh, dude, that's
Yeah,
hilarious.
he's gonna have some of those. I suggested that at the end of every bare knuckle brawl, the one-on-ones, it's just a full-on melee where last man standing. So if you get killed and get knocked out and respawn, you're not allowed to get back in the fight.
Right.
So at the end of each fight club, there's one person that wins the overall brawl for it all.
A battle royal?
Basically.
So you
yeah.
got the winner of the one-on-ones, and then he's got to fight everyone again to be the overall winner?
At the end, everyone fights at the same time. Just a big, everyone paired
just for
off.
fun?
Yeah,
Just to- okay.
just to knock down, drag them out. And as you die, you can't come back.
Right, when you
the,
respawn, you stay at a certain distance.
So you
or
got
something.
like 15, 20 guys all fighting each other at the same time.
Have you
Chaos.
spoken to this Max at all? Have you communicated with him?
We are pretty tight on the gram.
Okay.
Max runs an Instagram account called That Max Guy. 15.
He just
I believe?
joined our Discord. Everyone say hello on Discord.
Yes, Max.
Hello,
is,
that Max guy.
That Max Guy
on
is in our
Discord.
Discord. He's our newest member. Speaking of which, if you want to join the Discord community,
please.
You want to ask us questions every single week. You want to get behind the scenes of why this guy's outlining green every damn week.
Yeah.
Jump in the Discord. That's where it goes down. That's where we tell all the super secrets. If you were in the Discord, you'd know all about what our event is going to be.
Yep.
You'd know who the charity partner is potentially going to be. You'd know the date the event's going to be.
Yep.
You'd know all sorts of this cool insider good stuff,
Yep.
John.
No, for sure. I'm definitely
Yep.
glad to have you, Max.
Can we do the question for our RDR2 since we're on the gaming time?
We're going to break format here because
Break format!
we held such a tight format in the beginning of this show. Breaking format. Andrea wants to slam us with a
Red Dead Redemption 2 question.
Emily just came across a lawsuit against RDR2.
Uh-oh. Everybody's got lawsuits
Yeah,
guys, in these days.
And it
Today.
is Pinkerton Agency is suing RDR2 for using Pinkertons.
Oh,
They say it's
jeez.
giving their business a bad rep, but RDR2 is claiming it's historic and the Pinkertons were the law back then.
Yeah. And how are the Pinkertons still relevant now? That's the bigger question. Why are there still Pinkertons?
Let me ask you this: whether there's Pinkertons or not, why do you care that the name of someone in a game, like people come in and they're like, "You're horrible in Red Dead 2," like someone says that to them? That's horrible that there's this issue.
I don't know, how do they behave on it? Are they good guys?
No, you kill the Pinkertons every time you come across them.
So they're bad guys that you want to kill?
Well, they're probably would be
Well,
considered
who
the good
cares?
guys.
What if you put? Yeah, but what if you put? The
You
Smiths?
might not be so happy.
What if you put the Smiths?
Speaking of the Smiths,
There's
John,
a ton of Smiths, so all the Smiths are. You make Smith look.
wasn't fictional, but you're using an actual name of a business.
But Pinkerton is I'm sure was a name back then as well. I'm sure they didn't
It
pick
was a
them.
business back then.
Back then though, back in the old days, like why does anyone care now though?
They're still the same business.
for the
That's what
longest
they're saying.
time-
They didn't go away.
So what's the
They're still
question?
there.
for the longest time, I thought
It's like
the
making
Pinkertons
fun
were a
of
What are
family.
your thoughts?
And we're like, oh, we don't want to deal with the Pinkertons. And I thought they were talking about the Pinkertons, like the Hatfields and
And the
McCoys.
McCoys, yeah.
Yeah, I thought the Pinkertons were just...
If they'd have put them in the game, oh boy, that would have restarted that feud all over again.
I'm like, why do all these movies refer to the Pinkertons all the time? I'm like, what's the deal with these guys? And then I finally felt like, oh, that's the lawman. All right.
Yeah. Oh, now they want to sue because
Private security force.
they want to sue. You know what I think of
That's
that? I think that's a bunch of hack bunk. It's just BS.
So Pinkertons, why don't you just make your own game where we go around and kill cowboys?
Or just grow up. Like, what do you mean? It's hurting your business?
Again,
I don't get that. I don't
who
believe
knew
that.
the Pinkertons were still around?
I don't believe that. I'll do my own research, but I don't believe that.
What are they still chasing down bounty hunters across New Mexico? Like,
Yeah, seriously.
what the hell are
Across all the
Pinkertons
state
doing?
borders.
All right.
Emily says her question was, what are your thoughts on it? Good job, guys.
Oh, thanks, Em.
Bravo.
I'm just saying I think it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
My thoughts are the Pinkertons should be happy people know who they still are now because of this.
Seriously.
All right, we are ready and queued up for our Elabs commercial. That website I promised is about to appear on screen right now. John and I might be getting old, but we're still avid gamers and early adopters. One of my favorite new esports companies is Elabs. They're committed to merging esports and blockchain technology together to offer a cutting-edge gaming experience. Their first closed alpha test is running right now. Visit their site and be one of the first to get invited to join a new experiment in esports. And I just noticed the website is not there, so I'm going to go ahead and give it to you again. esportsshowdown.io.
Again?
esportsshowdown.io.
Dot what?
Well, I owe you in 2 seconds. All right, John.
Is it time for our favorite segment?
It's time for our favorite segment, John. Discord questions.
There it is.
A little low on the sound effects this week.
Can't control that.
It's our first one. We didn't know we were quiet on them.
Yep.
We're on pace to have the show wrapped on time.
Oh my goodness.
All right, everybody. So we're going to start off with Sam, who got us going right away Friday with questions for you guys for today's show.
Okay.
This is about Netflix deciding that they are not going to be taping the show that is supposed to be set in North Carolina, OBX. They are going to be taping it in South Carolina instead.
Oh, we're sticking it to you. Taking it to the South Carolina.
I can tell you the reason why, but the question might not be around the reason why. The question is, if Hollywood is so liberal, then why do studios still donate to Republican campaigns?
That's a very good question, and one I can easily assume is because the people that are known for being liberal are the actual talent. The agents and suits that run the establishment are known to be the establishment, and therefore they lean towards the side that the establishment is, which is usually Republic Corporate America.
Okay. That's the answer? Because I don't have an answer. I have no idea. I assume that studios donate to anyone that'll benefit them moving forward. So if they donate to Republican campaigns, hopefully those Republicans are going to try to push something to help Hollywood out. So that's what I'm guessing they do it for. I don't think they ultimately care who they're donating to. Because if they're going to donate, I don't know. This is just my opinion. I can't speak from a point of fact because I don't know. So I'm guessing that that's what they're doing, so they can somehow get a kickback from the Republicans, even though they're liberal. And I like what you had said, that the talent is liberal, and say the business side is like the Republicans.
I'll give you another perfect example. Most NFL players would probably lean towards the left or the Democratic side. Yeah. While the owners
right,
are almost all Republicans, Trump supporters, and
not
all of them to a man, but
no, but more than most.
Stupid Bob Kraft.
Yeah,
damn Patriots,
son of a bitch.
Okie dokie. Misery Ann's question. There's been a lot of discussion on the Gratcast Discord about charity last week as the new year started. We're talking about good deeds from the beginning.
Yeah, good deeds, of course, good deeds.
Getting our karma in the right place. So what kind of charity work or volunteering would you like to do? As an individual or as a company, but would you actually be interested in...
Do you want to go first, John?
I'll go first. I've been thinking about this for a while. I just haven't done anything with it, which is unfortunate, much like my comedy career. I've actually wanted to go do...
John is a well-intended, charitable man.
I've wanted to go to like a soup kitchen and actually just help feed the homeless. It's simple, but it's a hands-on thing. It's not like, here's $20 to the Red Cross. I donated to charity. I feel good. Well, maybe you do, maybe you don't. But if I'm going to do it, I wanted to go hands-on.
I need to see the menu first.
I want to...
You don't get to eat their food.
I didn't say to eat it. I want to know what kind of soup I'm schlepping. I'm not going to be schlepping bad soup. It's going to make their situation worse. Just saying.
Okay, I'm just going to help feed the homeless. I'm not preparing any of that. I'm just saying that's what I would like to do.
I only show up on broccoli and cheddar soup
I
days.
feel like Kris would be one of those.
You don't want New England clam chowder?
I will bring
chowder.
I only do the minestrone.
I like a New England clam chowder, though. I do. It's
the white or the red?
The white. I've never had the red.
I can never remember that.
The New England is white. The Boston is red. I've never had the Boston clam chowder. So what about you and your volunteering? What would you do?
You know, charity? John, if I have my preference, it would be organizations that help and support the kids. Why?
Okay.
Because the kids, if they are messed up and they are screwed up at this point, it's through no fault of their own. Whereas adults... Who knows the circumstances that got them there? Okay. I might not empathize with those circumstances.
Okay.
But children, you can't blame them through their own, no fault of their own. But what is really starting to hit home to me as a charity or charitable industry that I'd like to be proactive and engaged in.
What's that?
Is community arts programs for children, for kids, for young adults.
Okay.
We like one of the organizations we got exposed to in the past week or so is an organization out of Buffalo that their whole mission is to expose the younger generation to careers in the arts.
Okay.
That they simply exist and are a possibility, and it's not just, hey, be rich and famous on camera, but
Right.
here's all these other jobs and things that you could potentially happen. And it doesn't take me like real far to stop and think how much that impacts me, because I have no idea where I'd be right now, John.
I was just going to say, I was going to guess that they didn't have that when you were younger.
Yeah, well, if they did, it wasn't big enough that I was exposed to or
Okay.
knew about it or
Right.
it touched my life. But I would have loved to have been impacted by being exposed to arts at a younger age and realize that it's a real thing, that you could actually pursue it and chase it.
Yeah.
So that all day long would be an organization that I'd want to give back to and just work to expose kids to know that, hey, if you feel that itch, if it's inside of you, you can create anything you want.
Okay. That's a good thing, and I wish that spreads. I would hope that it spreads, because I would love to encourage, because the more creativity you get when you're younger, that when you grow older, then you're offering the world so much more. And I've said this, I don't know how many times, it seems like there's no creativity in Hollywood right now anyway. They're all remaking the same old shit. I'm sick of it.
And here's something that gets lost, I think, in a lot of times when we're talking about the word creativity, is that you have to like make something or create a piece of art or this, that, and the other thing.
Yeah.
I think that the creative mindset, the creative influences, the ingenuity that goes into creating art is something that can make you a much stronger individual in the everyday life. Because, there's the way things are supposed to be done, and then there's I can't get it done that way. I need to get creative and come up with a different solution.
Yes.
So if you're naturally exposed to creativity, you're naturally exposed to thinking that way and coming up with something that didn't exist
The brain
beforehand.
works a certain way, which works out these problems.
You can apply that type of
Creatively, yes.
mindset into everyday activities and things where you need to find creative solutions.
For sure, which is how I feel very similarly to, differently, but similar to like a martial art. It teaches you something that you won't know. Not the martial art, but it teaches you discipline. So you learn one thing, but you can apply it into your life. Much like learning to be creative at a young age, you can creatively solve problems as you grow older. If you can't find a traditional method for it, you're like, here we go. I'm done. So I like that. I like it when it offers multiple things you can learn. And that's what it'll do.
In 10 years of pursuing a life in Hollywood, I've written a lot of scripts. I've created a lot of different types of content and things like that. But by and large, the area where I put the most creative effort into and draws on my creative juices the most is problem solving. Is how are we going to solve this as an entrepreneur? How are we going to build this company? How are we going to get these people to help us out? How are we going to do all these different things?
Yeah.
And it's all creative problem solving, because it would be easy to just throw money at these problems, but we can't do that.
Right.
So, boom, we get creative, John.
And that's the way to be.
If people had any clue how many different creative workaround solutions I've tried for the Gridfam thing.
Oh, my goodness.
It's but just nonstop creativity, and it's driving me nuts that I can't create the answer.
It's pulling the hair out.
All right, Andrea.
All right.
Next Discord question.
Emily has an awesome chicken noodle soup she would be sharing, or a potato chowder. Just so you know, for the soup kitchen idea when we were talking about soups.
We're not passing soup recipes right now, Emily.
No, but if you want to make the soup and send it to us or bring it to us, we'll try it.
When we have the first Gratwick smorgasbord, I want to know all about these soups, Emily. But until then, we're not talking about soup, Emily.
Oh.
You're fine, Em. Don't worry about it.
Emily.
Thank you.
Oh, you don't talk to my Emily like that.
So what's the next question?
Xbox
Next
user.
question is from Emily.
Why do I have an Xbox? I don't know, Emily. All of us make bad choices at times.
Coming from hearing that Hollywood is remaking Final Destination.
Again.
Remaking. Not making a new episode. Remaking. What is your favorite book-to-movie adaptation? And what is your least favorite book-to-movie adaptation?
I remember being prepped with this question earlier, and I was like, I need to look up a couple lists.
So easy, bro. So easy.
Well, the worst one is super easy, John.
I don't know. There's a few. Which one?
Atlas Shrugged. Oh my God, was that a train wreck of an adaptation?
I call out shenanigans. You have to have read the book.
I did read the book.
I
read 3/4. No, you don't need to read the entire book to know that Atlas Shrugged, the movie interpretation, is a train wreck. They've got it's a 3-part movie series, right, John?
Oh yeah, I've watched it.
Yeah. They use different actors in all 3 parts. Like
that was horrible. I didn't like that. I did not like
that. Step 1
of
a disaster.
Yeah, no, that's a good
We didn't
point.
sign our actors to long-term agreements for sequels.
I mean, what is your... I mean, you got Doom. That's a horrible movie with The Rock based on... Well, I guess that's a video game. It's not a book.
Yeah, we didn't get to that part of the question.
I'm so sorry. I didn't know that was part of the question. I don't
bad
even know.
Bad book interpretations.
Bad book. So I liked Lord of the Rings, I gotta say. It's very easy. It's the low-hanging fruit. But I read the series, and it's a... Of course, you don't get as much in the movies as you do in the book, but you never do, and you're not going to. It's just the way it is. I thought Peter Jackson did a great job, and then with the extended version on the DVD, you get some of the deleted scenes into the movie, so it's just like one long movie as opposed to some scenes where you're like, these are the deleted scenes, click here. It's like it's all part of it. So I really thought that was a really well-made series, regardless of what anyone else thought. I thought it was a really good series, all 3 movies.
Another contender for worst book ever turned into a movie would probably have to be that one that bombed for Disney with...
Speed Racer?
No, well, I don't think
Mars?
that was a book,
Something about Mars?
Yeah, it was something about Mars.
Someone goes to Mars or something
John
like that?
Carter? Is that what it was? John Carter?
Yeah, I think he was the character.
They had that all built up to be this big, huge franchise.
That was a dude from Taylor Kitsch, wasn't it?
Yeah,
The dude from Friday Night Lights.
Yeah. Texas forever!
I thought it was Wakanda forever.
Well, they stole that from Texas forever. So, the next side of that question is video games?
Favorite? What's your favorite adaptation? What's a good one?
Oh yeah,
What
you didn't
can
give a good
say
one.
is-
You gave bad ones.
Yeah, that's how you thought.
I gave The Lord of the Rings.
I don't know.
He never read Lord of the Rings. You can't choose books. You have.
But what if he hasn't read a book and seen the movie?
The adaptation is correct.
That's true.
All right. So,
How dare you
Oh,
say you
do you know what?
when
I'll
you
go with.
don't?
I'll actually get disputed here. I'll get disputive. I think the Harry Potter series was not very good. I didn't like it, and especially compared to the books. Those books were fucking incredible.
Hey, Potter.
And those movies, the way they ended,
not one
were
frame.
horrible.
I have not watched one frame of your Potter.
Well, that's great.
Okay.
Let's
that.
get back to what John was
Eat
talking
that.
about.
I'm just saying that there was a horrible adaptation from the book to the movie. There were some good things about the movies. I'm sure everyone saw them, well, except for Chris.
Not one frame.
It's okay. It's okay. So anyway, that being said,
Badge of honor.
I got you. Okay, I got you. There were some end of the movie fight scene, end of the story fight scenes that really killed me because there were these huge fights. I think one was in the room of requirement. It was huge in one of the movies. And in the movie, or in one of the books, in one of the movies, it was just like, pew pew, it's over, we won. That's one of the most epic parts of the story, and you just cut it down like, well, that's not important.
You're really selling me on the Potters.
I'm not trying to sell you. I'm telling you it's one of the worst adaptations. I'm not telling you it's one of the good ones. It's one of the bad
You're
ones.
making a good case for it.
Read the book, man. It's so much better.
Nah, that's not
Game
going to
of
happen.
Thrones.
Well, I really didn't go to movie, but I thought Game of Thrones has done a pretty. From what I've seen, I'm not caught up, but I think they've done a really good job.
So at the very beginning, do you think they were close enough to how the book was? Since
In the
they
beginning,
were
I think they were
obviously
very close. I think they were.
time?
I mean, all things considered, you can't put everything you can't put everything from a book in a series or a movie. So what they did, I know what they did. I thought that in the beginning was great, and overall, Game of Thrones did a good job because I know they're pulling away from what he wants to do as a writer, and he's okay with that. And he's supposedly going to finish the books. But regardless, I know. But I thought that was a good one too. But I thought Lord of the Rings specifically was exceptionally well done, even though Game of Thrones is incredible too. What are you going to say?
If I had to exclude, or if I could exclude one scene, then my choice would be Jurassic Park.
For what? Best or worst?
Best book interpretation into a movie.
I never read the book Jurassic
But that
Park,
was
so I don't know.
The book was probably one of the few books I've sat down and read cover to cover and couldn't put down.
I'm sure it's a great book.
But the great part of the book, they screw up. Well, they set up perfectly in the movie, and then they screw it all up. When Newman is escaping off the island at the end, he's got the vial of different dinosaur
The shaving cream.
Yeah, he's got all the DNA of the dinosaurs and all of that, and they show it get buried and covered in the mud, where you assume that it's going to get fossilized or protected or be there to dug up again, start the whole thing over again.
And you never see it?
They've got, what, 5 Jurassic Park sequels now? And not one of them have had anything to do with that damn shaving cream container.
Yeah, that's
And
crazy.
the entire Jurassic book novel and Jurassic World and all of the follow-ups of all of that.
Never touched on it.
No, the books do, but
So it happened in the book.
Yeah.
Like the shaving cream thing fell in the mud and it happened in the book, and then they touch on it later.
I don't know if it was the shaving cream thing, but it was
the container holding
the
the
DNA to
DNA.
start more dinosaurs off the island.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
So there you go. I guess.
John agrees that the first 2 Harry Potters are pretty good, but after the
Yeah, and that's where it really drops.
Not quite so great.
I didn't like it at all.
No.
Did we go to video game or are we going to video
Yeah,
game?
It's like the magic. They need more magic, more beautiful scenery, stuff from Hollywood.
I mean, like I said, I liked what they did. It's just they didn't do enough of what they should have done. And anyone who's read the books and seen the movies, you know exactly what I'm talking about
Like it was
without
almost
going
too
into
difficult
detail.
For them to continue doing
Whatever, maybe it costs too much. That's why they should have done what Jackson did when they released the DVD, put those deleted scenes. So film them all, and then you raise DVD sales. So you're forcing DVDs because now what's in the movie isn't in the...
Choose your own adventure.
I mean, yeah, I know, but you're moving
edited
forward.
version, a
But I'm just saying, but you know what I'm
director's
saying. Like, you're getting that bonus footage, which you should, which gives you more
45 minutes
story.
Extra scenes.
Of course, that's what I'm looking for. Are we gonna go with something else, or are we gonna move
All
on?
right, we have the video games. What is the best video
I can't even
game
think of it,
to
other than-
movie adaptation? I know one.
What?
The Mila Jovanovic one.
Oh, you
Like
did
the
say that.
zombie ones, whatever.
Resident
that one is.
Evil.
All I remember is.
I mean, that's
I
a
never
d-
played the video game, so I don't know if it was close to. I just remember people saying, "Oh yeah, that was a good, but story."
I mean, it was. I mean, I like what they did with it. They just made it like an action movie. It's not really just like Resident Evil. I mean,
That's the name. Of
Resident Evil was very scary. You know, it was the first one, like you shit your pants when you were playing the game. It was crazy scary. Then the movies, they're fun, they're interesting. I can't even think of, other than that and Doom, what the video game translations even are.
I would nominate Rampage for worst.
Oh, Rampage, yeah. Yeah, but Rampage and Doom, which unfortunately both star The Rock.
For anyone that says you can't go wrong with The Rock, I submit 2 examples.
There you go.
Don't make me pull Baywatch out.
Says
Neither-
Resident Evil
I didn't even
very
watch
bad
Baywatch.
adaptations.
I forgot they made that a movie, didn't they, with The
Yeah,
Rock and
yeah.
some other fool. Okay.
Oh, we have Emily's guilty pleasure, Mario Brothers.
what's his
You guys
name?
ever see the Mario?
Oh,
Brothers?
I actually like that movie.
no!
Oh, dude!
Oh, dude.
With Dennis Hopper? Come on!
Dude, the only thing I liked
Oh,
about that
they
was...
should have totally made a
The only
sequel
thing I liked
of
about that was
Good
Samantha
call,
Mathis.
Emily. You redeemed yourself.
The Samantha Mathis. She was the one who actually did it for me.
You
The movie-
redeemed yourself with that one.
Well, you didn't have to redeem yourself
I-
to me, but I didn't like it.
Hill?
They
You
should've
got
made a-
another offer from you guys ever play
Silent-
Silent Hill?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was a pretty good adaptation.
Silent Hill always had a little too much Resident Evil vibe. For
Yeah,
me
but I
there.
mean, but from the game to the movie, they actually did, in hindsight, they actually did do a pretty good job. It was very foggy and misty. It was then you had the guys with the huge... No, I thought they did a pretty good job.
I feel
Great,
like there's
no,
a big
good.
one out
Yeah.
there that we're missing, but I can't think of what it is.
I'm sure we're missing a few.
All right.
I remembered a book though.
Uh-oh.
Ender's Game.
Didn't see the movie, so I can't speak on it, but I heard
What
it
do you mean you didn't
sucked.
see the movie?
I heard it was horrible. The book is so good.
You remember
That's how I feel about Ender's
difficult it
Game.
is to read the book and envision what they're trying to say. Like,
No, I had an easy time myself. It was great. I don't even want to spoil it in case.
feel like
Read
when
Ender's
you
Game.
read-
I don't care about the movie. Go read the book. It's incredible. It's a series, but you just need to read the first book. It's a good standalone. You don't need to do any more than
Siobhan
that.
says Silent Hill was good.
I haven't seen the Silent Hill movie in a long time, but I
It's
How old is that?
probably
10, 15?
90s, late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, probably 15.
Is that the one that had Monk in it?
Monk.
Remember there was a horror movie that had Monk as like the house. It was one of those. The house is all haunted and there's people gonna chop you up and everything.
The Silent
It
Hill is
wasn't
about a
that
town that's all messed
Yeah,
up.
Silent Hill is the town of Silent Hill,
Yeah.
Oh.
and weird shit.
Like the
happens.
setup is almost identical to Resident Evil.
Oh yeah, for
13
sure.
Ghosts. Yeah. Thank you, Emily. You
All right.
That was a
were
book too,
Emily's.
or a
I
TV
think
show.
Monk was.
Do we have any more Discord or chat questions?
No.
Nothing, ladies.
Silent Hill has Sean Bean though. We are unfortunately.
He was Lord of the Rings, wasn't he? Wasn't he Boromir?
We're bringing an end to the Discord questions, John.
Yeah, it sounds like we're starting to ramble here. So we're moving on to the final element here,
Yep.
and that is.
Bullet Blitzes.
Oh, let's go get it. That's so quiet. I'll do it again.
I'll go first this week, John.
Why is it not playing? Can you hear it? There it is.
There
Let's
it
do
is.
it. Talk to me.
What is your favorite movie or TV show with a... All right, let me rephrase this.
What?
What is the most memorable scenes you can think of from TV or movie that involve rain? And no, movies like Hard Rain don't count. The whole movie's hard.
Was it raining the whole movie?
Yeah. Well, it's the whole movie.
I didn't watch it.
They rob something while there's a flood coming.
Never even watched it. I honestly, I'm completely stumped. I can't even think of a movie or a TV show or anything with rain in it.
Oh, I got 3 great scenes.
Then you might as well throw it out. I'm completely unprepared for this, even though you asked me earlier.
There is the OC when they wake up and it's raining in California and they're all looking out their sliding glass doors and they play the Even the Puddles Gather Rain.
Okay, well, I didn't watch the OC ever because the only girls I knew watched that. But anyway.
Well, you know a dude now.
Moving forward, well.
Bet you wish you watched the OC.
I don't think so. I only like the intro song.
The Office has one of the most famous rain scenes ever.
Is that, now hang on, let me actually guess. Is that with Pam and what's his name?
Jim, the proposal at the gas station?
Yep. See, even I vaguely recall that when you bring it up.
Yep.
Okay.
And this one's for me personally.
Oh.
The Last Boy Scout, the opening scene.
Oh!
The rain, the football game.
Oh, totally, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to have to go with that one, too. I forgot about The Last Boy Scout. I don't remember rainy scenes, but that one was great.
Oh, yeah.
The beginning and the end. Oh, no, at the end, it wasn't raining, right? When he threw it and he hit the
Andrea, Kyle, any favorite rain scenes?
There's 3. Blade Runner.
Oh.
Final scene with Rutger Hauer.
Oh, that's another good one.
It still shakes me.
Okay.
I've seen things you wouldn't believe as he's dying.
Nice.
Shawshank. When
yeah.
he escapes.
Yep.
And one that my sister loves, but I mean, I can agree it's good. The Notebook.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like you got that one with Emily too.
I'm gonna
Emily, your stock's back heading down again.
I'm gonna step.
It's a roller coaster of an episode for you, Emily.
I'm gonna step outside of the rain scene, but it looked like a rain scene. Okay, in Lethal Weapon, at the end when he's gonna, I don't know if it's the original Lethal Weapon, but they're fighting in front of what's his name's house, the old detective.
Too old for this shit.
And
Danny Glover?
Yes, and the car hits the fire hydrant, and the fire hydrant starts spraying, and then Riggs, or is he Murtaugh? Riggs.
Yep.
And the main enemy, who was Busey.
Yep.
They're going at it and that's great. Even though it's not a rain scene, it looks like a rain scene, and I don't know, that was a memorable one. I like that one. Did you like it? Lethal Weapon? How could you not like the Lethal Weapon series, right?
I don't got a problem with Lethal Weapon series. I don't remember that particular scene.
Oh, I think it was the end of the
I don't classify
first or second
spraying
one.
fire hydrants.
Nah, I know, but whatever. You say some stupid stuff too. So let's move on.
All right, what do we got from
the Ross Rachel first kiss, the real one where they're at the coffee shop and they
didn't even know that was in the rain, but
the doors
okay.
Downpour, they kiss and
Pam and Rachel's better Ross and Rachel.
Was that M?
Pam?
The big one.
Pam and Jim is a better Ross and Rachel.
There is The Office.
Tell me I'm wrong.
There's one mention on there, and we have Romancing the Stone.
Oh,
has some great rain scenes.
Romancing the Stone is a great callback.
It is a classic.
We got a Rocky Horror rain scene.
I have not seen Rocky Horror.
Over at the Frankenstein.
I'll come back for you.
Oh, yeah.
How soon? Yeah. Very soon. Mike's been quoting that line for decades.
Jeez, that's a good one though. It really is.
Anytime someone says "how soon," very soon.
So, how's the chatter? Is it?
Right.
Yeah, moving on.
Moving on.
All right.
Okay, so due to the rain, obviously you had a rain question as well. My question to you is this, and I'll ask all 3 of you. What is one of your favorite things to do or eat? So I'm going to give you a wide range. What is one of your favorite things to do or eat on a rainy day?
I like to read books and drink hot cocoa under a blanket.
There you go.
Gotta have a blanket.
There you go.
To eat, it would be anything still in the house so I don't have to leave and get something else.
Is anything Andrea will make?
But I mean,
like a sandwich?
So it's not like on a rainy day. Like I love a good bowl of chili on a rainy day. Like, ooh, chili would be good. Or a good hearty bowl of soup or stew. That's what I'm asking. That's what I'm trying to get to.
I really like to lay in bed and listen to it rain.
I can appreciate that. And I think a lot of people can as well.
Rolling coins, to bring a call back to the old school Gratcast days, is always a good...
Roll coins every day, maybe.
Is a good rain activity.
That's true, though. That's definitely true.
Yeah,
Okay.
Veg out, video games, sweats.
Video games.
Hoodie and sweats.
Yeah. Well, I like the bed. I like to lay in bed and you're hearing the rain. You're just kind of like comfortable. Maybe you're looking on your phone or something, kind of tootling around, relaxing. I also like, of course, the staying and watching video games. Maybe a good movie, curl up on the couch with a blanket. I don't have a Snuggie, but I do have a blanket, so I could do that.
Any excuse to pull out the hoodie is really.
Well, you know, I took mine off. You noticed I took it off because I didn't want to.
Emily has.
I don't want to wear it
favorite
twice.
Food would be chili.
Nice.
Favorite activity? Standing in the rain. She loves the rain.
Do you live in California? Does she live in California?
No, but I think when it rains there, like
Where?
it's snowing now, she's in the Midwest.
That sounds
cold.
cold.
If it's snowing now, it's nicer when it rains. Like it's warmer.
Well, I mean, being in the Midwest, Andrew and I talked about this earlier, that in the summer.
Nebraska.
Ooh,
Yeah,
I'm
she's
so
in the
sorry.
Mid-Midwest. She's in
But-
the middle.
But I imagine in Nebraska in the summer you can get
Still have a
warm,
bone to pick with Tom Osborne.
I imagine you can get a warm rain though. Like you can't get that in California. Anytime it rains in California, it's always cold. But in Michigan, on the Midwest, I'm assuming, you could go like short sleeve shirt, tank top, shorts, and you go out in the rain. You can have fun. Now, with your phone, you're not going to do any of that, but at least you're able to do it and enjoy the rain. Here, you want to go outside? It's freezing. I don't want to go out there. I hate that. It's horrible.
Oh, M2 would like to move so badly to get out of the weather.
I don't blame you, girl. I don't blame you. I was with her with the chili. That's one of my favorite things to eat. And then, of course, one of my favorite things to do, like I said, veg out, watch TV.
Pretty sure my phone just died.
Play some video games.
I think so.
Yep.
So now we're just audio?
Yep, we're just audio.
Well, sorry, folks. We're just going to finish this on audio. There's no going back now.
Last question for me on the Discord side. Have you ever brought something that had defunct packaging?
Yes. Yes, I have, as a matter of fact. I felt I had a Voss water bottle. Darren, you know this if you're ever listening to this show. And we couldn't open it. Like, we couldn't open it. Two adult men. I mean, we felt like children with mittens on. Because it was, you know what the Voss looks like. It's just like a long cylindrical tube, that's it. And then at the top where you can unscrew it, there's plastic. It wouldn't unscrew the plastic. It doesn't matter what I'm doing visually anyway. You couldn't tear it. You couldn't do anything, dude. It was, we thought it was like you were getting punked. We didn't even know what was going on. We couldn't open it, so I just threw it out. I just threw the water out.
We had
It was horrible.
Andrea bought a bunch of Gatorades recently that were like 25 cents a Gatorade.
Oh, yeah, you just tell me right
And we
away.
found out why, because the Gatorade cap is sealed to the thing that's usually perforated and rips when you unscrew it open.
Yeah.
So it's all sealed together there. And
Oh, so you're saying it's not perforated?
it's a feat of strength to pop one of these things off. I had to use a steak knife the other day to create the perforated rim around the edge there.
Oh, jeez.
So, John, any? Do you have one more?
Yeah. I'll actually, I'll hit it real quick. It shouldn't be too difficult. Let's finish this up. So basically, looking at Facebook, I see another freaking challenge. Another challenge. This is how hard did aging hit you challenge. Okay?
Oh, I see.
I'm not asking you about that challenge because I don't care about that challenge. And anyone who posts it, whatever, do what you got to do if that's important to you. They're starting to fall down, but nobody sees it. So that being said, which of the online challenges throughout the years has been your favorite?
That's easy. The Tide Pod challenge. Eat those things and die, you dumbasses.
Is that what it was? I didn't even know. I didn't even know that one existed.
Yeah, that was as far as I know, it's still going on.
Oh,
Will you eat a Tide Pod?
No!
Yeah.
Why would I do that? That's like eating a piece of shit. I'm not going to eat it. I'm just not doing it.
I might take the piece of shit over the Tide Pod. How do you feel about that?
Wait, is it my shit or is it someone else's shit? Anyway, no, I hear you. My challenge, I can't believe that's a challenge, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But my favorite challenge, which I thought was hilarious, was the spice challenge. I'm going to stick a tablespoon of spice in my mouth and try to swallow it. It's called a spice for a reason, and even if it's cinnamon, it's still going to burn the shit out of your mouth and your nose when you cough it through. So these challenges are like, to me, they're like the dumbest ass things I've ever seen. Go ahead and do them, whatever, and no one's watching. Go ahead and do
a gallon milk. I know I could do that one.
No, the body allegedly can't drink a whole gallon of milk.
Bullshit.
I'm telling you what doctors say. Now, I don't trust all doctors, as you well know, but this is what I'm told. The body can, in fact, I will buy you a gallon of milk to watch you slam a whole gallon of milk.
It, or can you drink it slowly over an hour?
Well, what the hell's the challenge with drinking something slowly over an hour?
You said your body can't process it.
If you slam it, you can only process it so quickly.
You don't have room enough in your stomach to literally hold that much volume.
You could probably hold a gallon of water. I bet you could. Because you eat. Have you ever seen somebody eat a lot of food and then drink water? That's gonna equal probably more than a gallon total.
I don't
All right.
I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm just saying. It's all right. So I'm gonna hold you to that challenge.
I'll put a gallon milk down.
I'm
someday.
gonna put him up to that.
All right.
Okay,
Emily
seriously.
does not do challenges either. Emily and Siobhan are still listening. They're sticking it through for us. But
Last question is for Kyle. Are you an Xbox or PS4 guy?
PS4.
Good.
All the way.
Good call, Kyle.
Okay, so the Xbox versus PS4 literally is a divide of genders.
Apparently. Now I know why nobody likes female gamers. They're all keeping Xbox in business.
Well, some of them still play.
I'm free to push all these buttons now.
All right.
Can I push this one? I'm going to push this one. Everyone, thanks so very much.
Yep.
This wasn't the best show by any means, but thanks for
No.
sticking with us, ladies, and anyone else who did. And have an amazing week. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, I am.
One of these days, we'll get a perfect one. I swear, or a good one. Dude, how did your phone die? Isn't it plugged in?
It died because the person looking at the battery thing didn't.